What happens to Earth the
All
day
stations,
Voyager
confirm
1
status check on
goes
the
silent?
X-band. We have a hard flat line.
Somewhere in the next 10 years, there will be an ordinary morning. Engineers will arrive at work, coffee will be poured, screens will flicker on, and someone will look at the data coming in from NASA's radio dishes, the same dishes that have been listening every single day for 48 years, and they will see something they have never seen before. Nothing. Not static, not interference, nothing. Voyager 1, the farthest object humanity has ever built, will have gone silent forever. And the question nobody is asking is this: what do we actually lose when that happens? To understand that, you have to go back to 1977. America was exhausted. Vietnam had just ended badly. Watergate had destroyed trust in everything. The economy was struggling. The mood of the entire country was one word: contraction. Do not reach too far. Do not hope too loudly. And yet, quietly in the California desert, a team of engineers was doing something almost defiantly optimistic. They were building a spacecraft, not to orbit the Earth, not to visit the Moon. They were building something to be fired out of the solar system entirely, past Jupiter, past Saturn, past Neptune, and then into a darkness so complete, so vast, so genuinely unknown that no human being in all of history had ever been there. They were launching into the unknown. And here is the detail that changes everything. The engineers who built Voyager 1 knew with mathematical certainty that they would never see how the story ended. They knew it would outlive them. They built it anyway. They poured their very best work into something they would never see finished. Think about what that means. In a world telling everyone to play it safe, a group of human beings decided to build something for the future. Not for themselves, for whoever came after. But they did not stop there. Before Voyager launched, someone asked a question so simple it almost sounds like a child asked it. What if somebody finds it? Carl Sagan took that question seriously. He assembled a small team and gave them one of the most impossible tasks in history: summarize humanity, in case anyone out there is listening. What they created was the golden record, a 12-inch gold-plated copper disc bolted to the side of Voyager 1. On it, they placed greetings spoken in 55 languages, music from every corner of the earth: Beethoven, Bach, a Peruvian wedding song, Chuck Berry. They recorded the sounds of our world: thunder, rain, the ocean, a mother's first words to her newborn child, a heartbeat, a kiss, and then one detail above everything else. A woman on the team agreed to have her brain waves recorded. She sat quietly with electrodes on her head, and she thought. She thought about the history of the Earth. She thought about what it means to be alive. She thought about love. Those thoughts were encoded onto the record. Right now, 16 billion miles away from everything she has ever known, the thoughts of a human being are traveling through interstellar space. They will still be traveling long after the sun has burned out, long after the Earth itself is gone. That record is still out there, moving, carrying us with it. For 48 years, a small team at NASA has been doing something remarkable. Every single day, without exception, they point enormous radio dish antennas at a precise location in the dark, and they listen. What comes back is almost nothing: 22 watts of power, the same as the light bulb inside your refrigerator, broadcast from 16 billion miles away. By the time that signal reaches Earth, it carries less energy than a single snowflake landing on your hand. And yet, they can hear it. They know Voyager's speed to within a fraction of a mile per hour. They know its temperature. They know which instruments are still alive. One NASA engineer described working on Voyager as caring for an elderly relative. You know time is running out. You're not trying to cure anything. You're just making sure every remaining day counts, because it will not come again. The power source on Voyager loses roughly 4 watts every year. In the early 2030s, there will simply not be enough left to transmit, and the signal that has arrived every day for nearly 4 decades will stop. I have been thinking about what that day will actually look like. Someone will be on duty. The expected signal window will open, as it has every day for decades. They will watch the screen, and it will not come. They will wait, check the equipment, wait some more. And at some point, with no dramatic alarm, no countdown, someone will quietly update a log entry. And the longest conversation humanity has ever had with anything will be over. Now I want to ask you something directly. Why does that feel like a loss? Voyager is a machine. It doesn't know we're listening. It doesn't feel the cold. It has no idea how far from home it is. So why does something in you respond to this? I believe it is because Voyager 1 stopped being a spacecraft a long time ago. It became proof. Proof that a species capable of terrible things, of war, of cruelty, of all the darkness we know humans carry, is also capable of this, of pointing at the unknown and saying we want to go there, of encoding a heartbeat and a kiss and the private thoughts of a woman in love and sending them into the void on the hope, the almost irrational hope, that someday someone might find them, of building something beautiful that they knew they would never see finished. When the signal dies, we lose our last living connection to that act of faith. The spacecraft keeps going, the record keeps traveling, but the conversation ends, and we will never have that conversation again. But here is where I want to leave you, not with sadness, because sadness is not what Voyager earned. The engineers who built it did not build it because they were guaranteed a good outcome. They built it because the window was open and they refused to let it close without reaching through it. We have windows like that right now, questions we haven't answered, places we haven't been, things we haven't yet been brave enough to build. And the lesson Voyager 1 leaves us with is this: do the work anyway. Even if you won't see the ending, even if no one is watching, even if the only ones who will ever know what you gave are the people who come after you. Somewhere out there, a gold-plated disc is moving through perfect silence at 38,000 miles per hour, carrying a heartbeat, carrying a kiss, carrying the thought of a woman who dared to hope someone was listening. They built it anyway. The signal will go silent, but what it said about us travels on.